Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're discussing the knee-jerk reaction coming in to the biggest double game week of the season, double game week 29. There is lots to unpack in this video. If you guys are enjoying the FPL content, drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and to make sure you don't miss any future videos in the build up to the big double game week 29, make sure those notification bells are turned on. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So in today's video, we'll look over the most transferred in and transferred out players this week and give you guys a recommendation as to whether or not you should go with the crowd and bring these popular transfers in, or release the most transferred out players from your squads. Also, we're going to have a look at a transfer watch list as well coming into the big double game week 29. Some players that we've got our eyes on and a couple of good differentials as well. If you guys are looking for some big double game week differentials that can help increase your rank, we do discuss quite a few good options in my opinion. First of all, let's have a look at the most transferred in players for double game week 29. Matoma, obviously a very obvious pick. Yes, he blanked in game week 28, but he's got an excellent double in 29 with Brentford and Bournemouth. Brighton, in my opinion, probably have the best or second best double game week out of any team, probably between them and Leicester for double game week 29. And obviously Matoma, probably the best Brighton asset to own right now. I think between him and March, two midfielders, they've been in absolutely superb form this season. And two players with fairly similar expected goal involvements. It seems that Matoma is the quite a significantly higher ownership than March, despite similar numbers being put up. Matoma has recorded more FPL points in recent weeks, so perhaps that's why a lot of managers are looking towards Matoma. But I still think March a really good option as well. Of course, Matoma is a great pick. He's been in great form, got good underlying stats with really good fixtures coming up, and having Brighton players in the team definitely will be beneficial, as Brighton still have quite a few more doubles. I think it's 2 more doubles coming up after game week 29. So a good time to have Brighton players, especially if you do have that free hit token available, as if you do have a double or triple up of Brighton, you can easily navigate blank game week 32 when Brighton do blank by playing your free hit chip that week. Brighton do have a pretty good chance of blanking in game week 32, so you can easily free hit out of that. I think Brighton players are definitely options you want to have a look at for your sides. Isak as well, he's a player that's been in really good form for Newcastle, picked himself up a goal against Wolves a couple of weeks ago. Back this up with 2 more goals away to Nottingham Forest in a big win for Newcastle in the context of their season. He put up 13 points in that game in blank game week 28 and has a good double in game week 29, where I'm sure he'll start both these games and continue to look very threatening for Newcastle up top. Eddie Howe's been singing his praises as well, so I think Isak's a player that should get very good consistency in minutes for the remainder of the season. I do think he's a safe pick to go for in terms of a very low risk of rotation, which there was previously in the season when Callum Wilson was the other forward option. But I think now Isak's their main man up top for Newcastle. He's getting lots of chances, he's getting into good positions, and he's got a good double game week coming up in 29. So I think Isak, another good differential forward option worthwhile considering for double game week 29. Yes, a lot of people already have Haaland and Kane. If you're looking for a differential third forward, even a differential compared to Tony at a slightly cheaper price, Isak, another good option worthwhile considering. And then Rashford as well, obviously he's been in superb form this season. He didn't play in game week 28, but if you don't have Marcus Rashford, not only is he a good option for game week 29, but also a good captaincy pick as well. He's definitely in contention, got a good fixture of Brentford at home as a part of his double game week, which I think is a main fixture that he should perform pretty well in. Brentford at home is a great chance for another goal for Marcus Rashford, so he could be a really good captaincy option for this week. Then having a look at the most transferred out players, all of Almiron, Saliba and Odegaard have been popular transfers out. Almiron obviously picked up that injury. He's not expected back until the 30th of April, so he's definitely a good player to get out of the side now before his price does decrease any further. Almiron had seen a slight drop in form before he picked up this injury, so I think now is a very good time to get him out of the side, especially considering how many good midfield options there are on FPL right now for this double game week. You've obviously got Matoma and March for Brighton, 2 really good picks. Marcus Rashford there, if you don't have him. Saka's been in superb form. Martinelli's been in superb form, and I think those 2 other options are very good picks as well. And I will discuss another differential midfielder option later on in the watch list, which I want you guys to stay tuned for, because it's quite an exciting option. He's been in good form the last couple of games with a good double game week. Then looking at some Arsenal lads, Saliba and Odegaard, 2 players that have been heavily transferred out. Saliba failed to get the clean sheet in game week 28 for Arsenal, so I think that's sort of been the knee-jerk reaction from game week 28 to get Saliba out of the team. I think he should be good for for double game week 29 and just a single fixture for Arsenal in this one with Leeds at home. I still wouldn't necessarily look to get him out of the team, even if you do get in a double game week player. You're taking a -4 hit if you assume the value of every transfer is 4 points. I'm not sure it's worth it. Arsenal's defense has been so good recently. They have an extremely low expected goals conceded. In fact, in their last 4 out of 6 games, they've had an expected goals conceded of less than 1. So very, very impressive from a defensive perspective for Arsenal. And I think Saliba should be good to go for his fixture against Leeds at home in game week 29. I think he's a player that you want to hold on to, as is Odegaard as well. Yes, he frustrated with 2 points in game week 28. And when you see Saka and Martinelli produce those big holes as they did, it can be tempting to swap Odegaard for another Arsenal midfielder or look to get Odegaard out of the team altogether and not look to bring in any other Arsenal replacement. But I think Odegaard's still a very good pick. He actually had a higher expected goal involvements than Bukayo Saka in game week 28, yet Saka scored 18 points. Odegaard just produced the 2. So that still shows Odegaard is getting into good positions. He has alternated returns for his last 6 weeks running now in terms of blank return, blank return, blank return. He is coming into a return week in game week 29, so hopefully he can get the job done against Leeds, which is a really, really good fixture from an attacking perspective. I wouldn't look to get rid of any Arsenal midfielders or forwards for this fixture. Yes, they're only playing one fixture in game week 29, but Leeds at home is a really good chance for those Arsenal players to get themselves attacking returns. And I still like any of Odegaard, Saka and Martinelli compared to any other double game week player. I think they're still good options that you want to have in the team. So for me, Odegaard is another hold option to consider. So let's have a look now at our Game Week 29 transfer watch list. As I did say, there's quite a few differential options here to consider. The first one being Jack Harrison. He's a player that's been in a great touch the last couple of weeks for Leeds, now picking himself up a couple of attacking returns in each of his last 2 games. He's been in good touch for Leeds, just at 5.7, could be a massive differential midfielder. He's got really good fixtures for double Game Week 29. Obviously, Arsenal away, it's a little bit tricky, but it's that fixture against Nottingham Forest at home that you want to target from a Leeds attacking perspective. Harrison's been in great touch, put up quite a few points across his last 2 fixtures, and I think he'd be looking to go after this Nottingham Forest at home fixture. He's kind of been their main attacking outlet. A lot of their good attacking play has happened through Jack Harrison. He's getting heavily involved over the last couple of matches, and he's got a good predicted points in game week 29 of 6.6, so he's a player worthwhile considering. If you're looking to upgrade a cheaper midfielder, whether you've got Andreas in the team, you don't have a massive amount of money in the bank and you want to upgrade to a double game week player, Harrison definitely a good candidate here. I think he's a nice option to consider at 5.7, an option that I haven't really seen much discussion about at all. So I think Jack Harrison, one to keep an eye on. Estupiñán, obviously another good pick, probably the best Brighton defensive asset in my opinion, and Brighton probably do have either the best or second best fixtures for double game week 29. Brentford at home, Bournemouth away, 2 really, really good fixtures from a defensive perspective, and that is why Estupiñán actually has the second highest predicted points for game week 29 out of any player on the watch list here with 8.4, only second to Solly March of 9.5. So I think he's a really good option to consider if you don't already have him in the team. I know a lot of people got him in on a Game Week 26 wildcard or Game Week 27 wildcard, so he's a good option to consider in that Brighton defence. Ollie Watkins, of course, another good option at 7.5. If you've already got rid of Erling Haaland or you are tossing it whether to keep Kane or get rid of him, I think Watkins a good replacement for either Haaland or Kane if you're looking to get rid of those players from the team. Obviously, Tony, another good option at a similar price, but he's already got quite a high ownership, so I think Watkins also at 7.5, a really good option to consider. Leicester away is a great fixture from an attacking perspective. Leicester's defence has been extremely poor in recent weeks, and that Aston Villa attack will be looking to go after the Leicester defence. Also, Chelsea away, it may look difficult on paper, but Chelsea's defence has been very leaky, especially in recent weeks, so another good chance for Aston Villa here to pick up their some goals for them, and that's why Watkins does have a pretty good predictor points as well with 8.0, which is fairly high amongst forwards of his price. As you can see here, Tony at 7.9 as well down the bottom of the watch list. He's got a predicted points of 8.1, so I think Ollie Watkins a really good option to consider. Still has a fairly low ownership, so if you do want to jump on quite a good differential player that's been in really good form in recent game weeks, he could be your guy. Harvey Barnes as well. Yes, a lot of people are looking to go for Madison to capitalize on some really good Leicester fixtures coming up. Crystal Palace away, Aston Villa at home in Game Week 29. They then avoid the blank in Game Week 32, plus have really good fixtures around that blank Game Week 32 and after Game Week 29. They've got a great extended run of fixtures, so I think the Leicester assets are going to come slightly more into favour. There's been a lot of discussion around Madison, but I think Harvey Barnes as well, a nice option at a lot cheaper, 1.5 million cheaper, in fact, just 6.7. Harvey Barnes actually does have a higher expected score involvements than James Maddison over the last 7 weeks for Leicester. Despite only playing 45 minutes and 20 minutes out of 2 of those 7 games, Barnes still has a higher expected goal involvement. So I think Harvey Barnes, a really good differential, 6.7, a player that could really see your rank increase. In a similar boat to Jack Harrison as well, a slightly cheaper midfielder. Not too much discussion has been said about him. He could be a massive rank riser to the side. A 6.8 predicted points in Game Week 29 with 2 very good fixtures of Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. He could be a nice option to have in the teams. Emi Martinez as well, a good goalkeeper option. Obviously, if people are looking to bench boost, you're going to need 2 good playing goalkeepers. And Emi Martinez, he could be a great player to bring into the side if you've got a 3.9 or 4.0 keeper that doesn't have a good chance of starting. Obviously, Danny Ward did get arrested for Everson in the most recent game, so maybe you want to get rid of Danny Ward, or you've got another cheap keeper that isn't getting any starting minutes. Maybe Sanchez as well you've got in the team. You're not sure about his minutes and you want to go for a different goalkeeper asset. Martinez could be the guy. Aston Villa have picked up 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games now and have looked fairly sound in terms of having a low expected goals conceded. Martinez has also picked up save bonus in 3 of his last 4, and he's good at getting bonus points as well. He's got a good predicted points for Game Week 29 of 7.0, a decent couple of fixtures, Leicester and Chelsea, not the easiest from a defensive perspective, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aston Villa walk out of this double game week with a clean sheet against either Leicester or Chelsea. Chelsea have really struggled scoring goals, especially recently. Leicester, they've been pretty good at putting the ball in the back of the net, but hopefully the Aston Villa defence can stand up in this fixture, and that would mean Martinez to pick up a clean sheet. So I think he's one to consider as well in goals. Another one that hasn't seen too much discussion, Solly March. I really like Solly March. He's in my team. He's a good captaincy contender. Brentford at home, Bournemouth away. He actually has the highest predicted points in Game Week 29 out of any player in FPL by Fantasy Football Fix. He's got 9.5 predicted points. Second is Matoma with 9.1. So Fantasy Football Fix do slightly prefer March over Matoma. He does have slightly better underlying numbers. Hasn't quite matched Matoma for FPL points, but the underlying stats are definitely there. Very unlucky not to have a goal counted, an extra goal counted in his most recent double game week. He could have easily had 2 goals in this fixture had FPL not made the mistake of giving the own goal to Harrison instead of the goal to March. So I think he's a really good option to have on the side, and he's one that not only has good predicted points this week, but good predicted points across the next 6 with 30.4 predicted, which is the 3rd highest out of any player on the watch list here. Harry Kane, of course, another really good single game week player. He was actually very heavily transferred out earlier on in the game week, but I think he's a good option to hold on to. Probably one of the better premium forwards right now. Erling Haaland has been in really good touch, obviously in the Champions League and in the FA Cup, scoring a bucket load of goals. But I think Harry Kane, I'm not seeing why people are transferring him out. He's still a good option to have. Everton away, a strong single game week fixture. So he's not necessarily one to look out for and transfer in, but more on there just to say, let managers know, hold on to him. I don't think he's necessarily a good transfer out. Kane, still a worthwhile option to keep in the teams. And as we touched on Tony, of course, a lot of people already have him in the sides, but if you don't have him in, a good option to have in the teams. A great predicted points with 8.1 this week, and does have the highest predicted points in the next 6 of any player on the watch list with 32.7, so a good long-term option as well at 7.9 there. Brighton away and Manchester United away, definitely not the easiest fixtures, but of course Tony has been able to score against some very good sides this season. Of course he's on penalties as well for Brentford, which does help him out. So I think he's a really good forward option at around that 7 to 8 mil price bracket. Him and Watkins, 2 of the better options to have in the sides. So thanks for watching today's knee-jerk reaction for double game week 29. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. It helps out the video, helps out the channel, pushes the video out to more people. And as always, to stay up to date with all of the future FPL videos and then build up to a big double game week 29, make sure the notification bells are turned on. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.